بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله صلوات الله وسلامه عليه تسليما كثيرا. After this, we come to the fourth naqid from the 10 nawaqid, nullifiers of al-Islam that were cited by Shaykh al-Islam Muhammad ibn Abdul Wahhab rahimahullah ta'ala rahmatan wasi'ah. Fourth nullifier, he said rahimahullah, whoever believes that the huda of someone, the guidance of someone other than Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that person thinks, believes that someone else's guidance is more perfect than the huda of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. That's a naqid. That is something that nullifies and destroys a person's Islam. He went on to say, or the person who believes that there's a ruling other than what the Prophet is, and other than what the Prophet brought, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, is better than the hukm or the ruling, or that is permissible, for him to accept a ruling from other than what Allah has revealed, then this puts person outside of Islam. So we have two issues in the fourth nullifier that he's mentioning. The first one is the guidance, and the second one is the hukm. Concerning the guidance, anyone who thinks that another system, another person, even if that person is a prophet from the ulul azm, salawatullahi wassalamu alayhim ajma'een, if a person believes that the guidance of any system, democracy, socialism, any system, a dictatorship, kingship, anyone who believes that the guidance that comes as a result of anybody is better than the guidance that Rasulullah was sent with, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, then he is a non-Muslim. He goes outside of the deen of Allah Ta'ala. Concerning the guidance, there's no doubt that the guidance of the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam is more perfect, and this is an issue of the i'tiqad and what the believer has to believe. His guidance is perfect, and no other guidance is going to be coming trumping what Prophet Muhammad brought sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And that's because, number one, we have a number of ayat. You don't have to go through all of those ayat. Rasulullah was made to be the example. لَقَدْ كَانَ لَكُمْ فِي رَسُولِ اللَّهِ أُسْوَةٌ حَسَنَةٌ. He is the perfect example. Uswa is the one you have to follow. Qudwa. Perfect. Everybody else is not perfect. Abu Bakr, Uthman, Ali, radiyallahu anhum, fadlan an al-kuffar. No one else is perfect except the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So his guidance has been made to be for us the blueprint for success. It is what can lead to al-Jannah. In addition to that, he sallallahu alaihi wasallam, as the ayahs of the Quran said, he doesn't speak based upon his desires. When he's given advice and guidance and da'wah and nasiha, when he's telling people things, he's not telling them that from his own mind and his own head. He's saying that as a representative of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَمَا يَنْتِقُ عَنِ الْهَوَىٰ إِنْ هُوَ إِلَّا وَحْيٌ يُوحَىٰ. He does not speak from his desires, but it is revelation. So Abdullah ibn Amr ibn al-As, in the beginning of Islam in Mecca, and he was that companion who would fast one day and not fast the other next day. The fast of Dawud. And he was a zahid. May Allah be pleased with him. And he wrote down the hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He was haris like no other companion. to the degree he had more hadith than Abu Huraira. Gotta remember that Abu Huraira is the companion that has the majority of the hadith that he memorized. But Abdullah ibn Amr ibn al-As wrote down more hadith, and he had more hadith than anybody, including Abu Huraira. Go back and check it out, because it's really an interesting issue. He said, I knew more hadith, Abu Huraira, than any of the companions, except Abdullah ibn Amr ibn al-As. He used to write down, and I didn't write down, Abu Huraira said. When he was writing down at the beginning of Islam, the non-Muslims of Quraysh, they said to him, what are you doing? They were upset. Why are you always writing everything Muhammad says? He's a human being. Even the kuffar of Quraysh knew this point better than some Muslims today. He's a human being. He speaks when he's upset. He speaks when he's happy. So you just writing everything that he says? Abdullah went to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and told him what had happened. Rasulullah told him, write, continue to write, because nothing comes out of my mouth except that it's the truth. As it relates to dawah and the risala, he's ma'asum. He's a human being. If revelation doesn't come down, he may do something that Allah Azza wa Jal tells him, reveal, you shouldn't have done it that way. But when it comes to a dawah and the tabligh of the risala of al-Islam, he was ma'asum. So that hadith goes to show nothing comes out of his mouth, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, guidance, except that it is beneficial for the people. In addition to that, every Friday, he would say khutbat al-hajj. The best speech is the speech of Allah, and the best guidance is the guidance of Muhammad, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Not once in a while, every single Friday, the people heard that every Friday. And he used to teach the Muslims khutbat al-hajj, with put an emphasis on learning it, the same way he would emphasize learning an ayat from the Quran, a surah from the Quran. So he says that to them every day when he's going to give a talk, at the wedding, at the Eid. He's always saying that the best hadi is the hadi of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wa alihi wasallam. Lastly, concerning guidance and the religion, Allah asked a rhetorical question. Could you turn that out for me, brother? Or put it up like here so it doesn't hit anybody else. He asked a rhetorical question, فَمَاذَا بَعْدَ الْحَقِّ إِلَّا الضَّلَالِ? What is there after the truth except falsehood? So Rasulullah's guidance, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, is the truth, and the man-made laws, they're not, even if they have some wisdom and even if they have some justice in them, the guidance of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is better. So that's the first issue about guidance. Anyone who believes that the guidance of his sheikh, his imam, is greater than Rasulullah, similar to Rasulullah, equal to it, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, you exit the religion. If you know what you're doing and the hujjah has been established upon you. That's al-hidayah, al-huda. The second one is the one who judges with laws other than what Allah has revealed. Again, a plethora of ayat sent down to Quraysh, who had their society and their system. They had ways of judging. The man, his name was Abu al-Hakam. Abu al-Hakam. Rasulullah heard the people calling him Abu al-Hakam. He said, why are the people calling you the father of judging? Why do they call you that? He said, because when Quraysh and these people, whenever they have fights and disputes, they choose me as an arbitrator, and both sides are always pleased with what I judge. Rasulullah liked what he said. He said, do you have any children? And man said, yes. He said, what's their names? He said, I have a child by the name of Shurayh, a child by the name of Abdullah, and the best name, most beloved name to Allah is Abdullah, Abdurrahman. I have Shurayh, I have Abdullah, and I have Muslim. He said, which one is the eldest? He said, Shurayh. He said, then you're Abu Shurayh, not Abu Abdullah, although Abdullah is the most beloved name to Allah. So Kuffar Quraysh, they knew Allah. Rasulullah's father's name is Abdullah. This man called his son Abdullah. They believed in Allah, but they made shirk with Allah. Another thing from that hadith, when you take your kunya, the sunnah is to take the kunya of your eldest son. That's the most appropriate thing out of respect for him, being the eldest. The oldest one is not like the middle, not like the youngest, and so forth, so on. Not like the eldest daughter, and so forth, so on. But the point we mention it is, they were judging in Jahiliyyah. So these ayat came down, telling them how to judge and how not to judge. So it's like this country, this is a place of Jahiliyyah because it's not Islamic. So everything that was applicable to Quraysh is applicable to America, it's applicable to the West, it's applicable to every place. So concerning believing that a judgment, not a guidance, huda, a judgment is better, equal, some of those ayat. The three ayat that are similar, and they're very important, the scholars always mention them because of their importance. Whoever does not judge by what Allah has revealed, then those people are the zalimun. They're the oppressors. And zalimun can also have kufr in there. It also, but the oppressors. And whoever doesn't judge by what Allah has revealed, then those people are the kafirun, disbelievers. And whoever doesn't judge by what Allah revealed, then those people are the fasiqun, the evildoers. So a person may not judge by what Allah revealed, and he may be a kafir as a result of that. Or he may be oppressing people as a result of that. Or he just may be an evildoer as a result of that. So those are three ayat that are important for us to always have in our heads. Because the ayat show when a person doesn't judge by what Allah revealed, he doesn't automatically become someone who falls into the nawaqid of al-Islam. Even some of us judge by other than what Allah revealed. We have a problem with someone, an issue with someone, and we go right away to the kuffar. We take them to court. We call the police on them. And it didn't warrant that at that time. He didn't make an attempt to judge between the people and that which Allah has revealed. Goes right away to the feds. And there are many examples of that in the everyday lives of people. We take positions against people based upon lineage, based upon desires, based upon issues that are not correct. Everybody who does that go outside of Islam? They're going to say no. But some people can go outside of Islam. Also from those ayat, Allah asked the rhetorical question, أَفَحُكْمَ الْجَاهِلِيَّةِ يَبْغُونَ وَمَنْ أَحْسَنُ مِنَ اللَّهِ حُكْمًا لِقَوْمٍ يُوقِنُونَ. Do these people want the judgment of Jahiliyyah? The judgment of the Arabs of Jahiliyyah, where the woman is oppressed, where the non-Quraysh people were oppressed, where the bigger tribe with more people and more power overwhelmed the other people. The lady came and she stole something. And the ruling was, the judgment, we're going to cut her hand off in al-Islam, in an Islamic state. Quraysh, from the tribe of Quraysh, was the branch Bani al-Makhzum, the branch that Umar came from, other than the branch that Rasulullah came from, Bani Hashim, sallallahu alayhi wasallam. The people from that tribe, they were powerful. They said, no way, no way. We are not going to let this girl from our tribe get her hand cut off. Why? Because it reflects negatively on us. One of our daughters, our niece, our sister, our tribeswoman went and stole something. Now she's going to walk around for the rest of her life with one hand that's going to be cut. Everybody who sees her So it'll be Eid. It's really important because for the young brothers, our sons, our children, getting pregnant out of wedlock, going to jail, things like that, those things are embarrassments. And therefore, every family member has to be on the same page as it relates to keeping the honor and the respect of the family. Our community as a whole, I saw just yesterday, I came out today. I'm not going to digress. But I saw these 6, 7 youth in the UK, Birmingham. They were in prison now. And if you heard this story, you just would scratch your head and say, Yawm al-Qiyamah qad iqtaraba. Iqtaraba Yawm al-Qiyamah. It's close. When we find their pictures on the most wanted list, or they put their story on the TV, it is an embarrassment for us. So those people went to the Nabi, Usama bin Zayd, someone he loves, Ya Rasulullah, don't cut her hand off. Give her a break. Let it go. Rasulullah became angry and called all the people. He said, the people before you, if a rich person stole, they would let him go. But if a poor person stole, they would cut their hands off. People before, who are those people? Christians and Jews. Don't come to us telling us cutting the hand off is barbaric. Don't tell us that. What's barbaric is giving homosexuals our power in the halls of power, and they force that stuff down our throat. That's barbaric. The way you people steal from the weak Muslims, that's barbaric. Don't tell us that. We're not going for that. If those people judge, they would deal with the weak by establishing the had. He said, Waymullahi lo anna Fatimata bint Muhammadin sariqat laqata'tu yadaha. If my daughter Fatima stole anything and it reached that, I'm going to cut her head, the equality. So al-hukum was something that Allah revealed a lot of ayat. Do they want this kind of hukum in Jahiliyyah? And I say to you, that same issue is what we deal with here in America. No doubt, the American system has some positives and it has some khayr. But is it equal? No. Is it better? Kalla wa rabbil Ka'bah. But there's some good. There's some good. Prophet Muhammad used to say the good that any people used to have. He would say that. Like the Persians and the Romans. The Muslims, lady would get pregnant, and if she had a baby that was suckling, anyone who had a baby that's young and the mother is pregnant, it will give that young suckling baby ishal, has diarrhea. Common. That was happening to the Muslims. So they didn't want to let the little baby suckle anymore. Rasulullah heard about it. He said, continue to let the woman suckle the baby because that doesn't harm the Persians and the Romans when it comes to their power and fighting. They acknowledge they could fight. They acknowledge that. So in regards to the hukum of Islam, get the hukum of al-Jahiliyyah. He mentioned, subhanahu wa ta'ala, يريدون أن يتحاكموا إلى الطاغوت وقد أمروا أن يكفروا به. They want to make judgments to the taghut. The taghut can be the oppressor, it could be shaitan, it could be the tariqah and the nizam other than what Allah revealed. The Yahud, this is talking about. They want to judge, anything happens, instead of judging by the book of Allah or the Torah, they want to make al-hukum to the taghut. So the Yahud came to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam because two Jews, they made zina. Rasulullah could have just told them the ruling is this. But he said, bring your book, bring your book. They brought the book. Rasulullah got someone to find the ayat in the Torah that said, if you make zina, you are stoned to death. Don't come and tell me in Islam we're barbaric. We're going to say, you people have changed your religion. You changed your religion. I find it disturbing. It's amazing. If you look at the media today, how the terrorism, I hate terrorism. The terrorists did this. I don't like terrorism. The terrorists. And that just means the Muslims, the one who said he hates terror, he's the biggest terrorism. He's a supporter of terrorism. The one who, but he talks as if the thing turns the other way. He's a terrorist based upon the definition of terrorism. He supports what the Zionists are doing. You're a terrorist and you support, but that's not how it is. And not just in terrorism. The reality of things are turned upside down on their head. Turned upside down. The Yahud, when they came to the ayat where the Torah said, you have to stone them, they put their finger over the ayat and they hit it. They hit it. And Allah revealed the ayat concerning that. They want to judge to other than what Allah revealed. And as they did it, we should take a page out of history and not do that. We're almost finished here, Ikhwani. Just a few more ayat, inshallah. There are quite a few. Allah told the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa ala alihi wa sallam, وَأَنَحْكُمْ بَيْنَهُمْ بِمَا أَنزَلَ اللَّهُ وَلَا تَتَّبِعْ أَهْوَاءَهُمْ وَاحْذُرْهُمْ أَنْ يُفْتِنُوكَ عَنْ بَعْضِ مَا أَنزَلَ اللَّهُ إِلَيْهِ. Point ayah. Allah told Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, judge between them, Muhammad, with what and by what Allah has revealed. And don't follow their desires. What their desires can be evil, their desires, their niyat can be pure. But don't follow what they're saying. Follow what Allah revealed. They may be sincere, they may be intelligent. The Roman Empire, the Latin Empire, the Persian Empire, they built great civilizations and they had some good. That guy Hammurabi from Iraq. Where's Hammurabi from? What's that place? Babylon. Those people used to write legislation and they would write that stuff down. And they would write important things about medicine. Don't follow what they are saying. Follow what Allah revealed. And then look at the shahid. Allah Ta'ala said in this, and beware that they don't become a fitna for you as it relates to some of what Allah has revealed. Fitna here is kufr. If you follow what they do and replace it with, and you leave what Allah revealed, then this is a form of kufr. So those are from the many ayat. Last thing that we want to mention, inshallah, concerning the fourth naqid from the nawaqid of al-Islam, is this issue of, and a lot of the brothers go overboard in this. A lot of the people make takfir of people, especially the hukam. They are mutasallit, they are just following after the hukam of the Muslims, as if that is the single most important issue in the world, and they're not fair. And we see it quite often. But we have to make it clear so we don't fall into this. And that is the one who is keeping and he's accepting and he's believing in what Allah has revealed. He believes in that. And he believes it should be that way. And no one is better than Rasulullah's ruling. No one has huda better than Rasulullah. But concerning the hukum, he believes that. We want to make a point about this because we have kings, we have presidents. We don't have the khilafah of al-Islam. We have families, monarchs, and things like that. People are stealing money. And people are doing a lot of evil. Muslims are in need all over the globe. And many rulers of the Muslims who we don't love what they do, but they are leaders over people like us. But they're not judging with what Allah revealed. So aren't they kuffar? Because Muhammad ibn Abdul Wahhab said that. Aren't they kuffar? Some of them are kuffar. Some of them have been kuffar. But it's not for anybody to give wholesale takfir on people without knowing what you're doing. So this has three categories that we have to deal with very quickly. The first category are those leaders who they think what they are doing when they make rules. There are many examples of the rules. They have rules. They think that rule is better than what Allah revealed. That king, whoever, he thinks what he's doing is better than the Quran and the Sunnah. What do you think the ruling is concerning him? A kafir. Because he believes what is other than what Allah revealed is better than what Allah revealed. He's a kafir, outside of the religion of Al-Islam. And that's the meaning of the ayah. وَمَنْ لَمْ يَحْكُمْ بِمَا أَنزَلَ اللَّهُ فَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْكَافِرُونَ. The kuffar. أَمْ لَهُمْ شُرَكَاء شَرَعُوا لَهُم مِّنَ الدِّينِ مَا لَمْ يَأْذَنْ بِهِ اللَّهُ. Do they have partners, shuraka, sharik? La sharika lahu. La sharika lahu, he has no partner in his servitude, his ubudiyah, no partner in those names and attributes that are peculiar to him. Nobody. So if a person does that, now Muslim, out of the religion. And I want to mention as well, I forgot to mention this, even if it was a prophet or a messenger, the guidance of Rasulullah and the ruling of Rasulullah is better than the ruling of any other human being, anyone. When Umar, may Allah be pleased with him, some papers from the Torah from a Jewish neighbor, and Umar was reading the Torah, and Rasulullah knew what he was. He said, "What are you doing?" He said, "I got it from the Jewish neighbor. I just wanted to see what they were saying in this book." He said, "I swear by the one whose hands my soul is in." He asked him, "Are you in doubt now, Umar ibn al-Khattab? Are you weak now with your iman that you got to look at this to get some guidance, some knowledge?" He said, "No, Rasulullah, I was curious, inquisitive." He said, "I swear by the one whose hands my soul is in, if Musa came back right now, Musa is ma'soom. If he came back right now, you people followed him and you left me, you're going to go astray. You're going to be from the Daleen, a big going astray." And that's the ayat that we mentioned. فَمَاذَا بَعْضَ الْحَقِّ إِلَّا الضَّلَالِ. What is there after the truth? The truth, the Quran and the Sunnah. Whatever is after that, and it goes against it, then it is dalal. After the Quran has been revealed. So again, you can't judge and you can't believe anybody's hukum, anybody who's lesser than Musa. You're going to follow his way, his system. So that's the first category. The second category are the leaders, the judges, who they judge in order to harm people. They want to get their opponents back, so they put them in prison forever, chop their heads off, give them corporal punishment. They judge, you're a criminal, and they go to prison for many years. This phenomenon has happened in many places in the world. But in particular, you'll find the people who are mutasallatin, the rulers, kuffar, especially the rulers of one country who I say have to be balanced. We want khayr for all of the Muslim leaders in all the Muslim countries. But no doubt Al-Islam and the way of living in Saudi Arabia is different than everywhere else, but it's going down. Some people don't want to accept that. They want you, that's your business, but it's going down. So because some people are in prison there, and a lot of times there are people who came against the government. Sheikhs, du'at, they said things, they made inkar, and they have the right to make inkar. They should give da'wah, they should give nasiha. If, whoever sees an evil thing, let him change it with his hand. He can't, let him change it with his tongue. If he can't, let him change it with his heart. And that's the weakest of faith. He's not in a position. He said the greatest jihad is saying the truth to the face of the leader who's oppressive. So miss me with that and back up off me with that stuff. We just have to be quiet. So there are some people who are good sheikhs who spoke out and they got locked up for a long time. 20 years for saying something like, we should respect our culture and our religion and our country. We should respect it. And our women, they're dancing and having music. This is not from someone shows that ghairah. He loves his people. He loves the life for his people. He doesn't want the way of the West and he's not Muslim. It's repulsive. He wants to vomit. You have that way, but you want to change al-Islam. And I used to hear that when we were young. We used to hear from brothers, I wish I had an American passport. Why you want an American passport? Because he thought the American rules, you do whatever you want to do. And we used to say, well, we wish we had the passport that you have. Because we want to go, we want to make Umrah and Hajj all the time, and we want our kids to be safe, and we don't want to see homosexuality, and we don't want, all of these other things that are happening. Anyway, the ruler puts that person in prison because he didn't like what he said. He doesn't like his Jama'at. Some people from Jama'at Tabligh, they are terrorists now. Jama'at Tabligh are the cleanest, they are the, not cleanest. They are sterile. They're sterile, impotent. They're apolitical. But for political reasons, Ikhwan Muslimin, you're terrorists, all of you. Every Ikhwani is not a terrorist, brother. There are Ikhwan Muslimin who have the aqeedah of the Salaf, who know this book better than us. It's just their minhaj is the problem. They know what they're doing. And Al-Albani used to always tell the people, listen, be fair and just and make a distinction. Not every Ikhwani is necessarily a bad person. Not every Salafi is a wali from the awliya of Allah. Come on. There are some people from the Ikhwan Muslimin, and I'm not Ikhwani, and I'm not a Sururi, and I'm not any of that. But this is something that's in the waqi'. No one will reject that except the jahil. No one, except someone who doesn't know. So you got to be fair. The guy gets put in the prison for 20 years. All right. That leader who did that, does he go outside of Islam? He just did that because he wants that guy out of the way. He believes that the Quran is better than what he's doing. He knows that he's wrong. That's not what Allah said, but he's going to do it anyway because he's feeling politically, I have to do this to stay in power. What is his ruling? What is he? Non-Muslim? Is he a kafir? He's not a kafir. Not a kafir. He is making fisq and he is oppressing people. Those people are the fasiqun. Those people are the zalimun. So that's the second. The leader who doesn't judge by what Allah reveals because he wants to hurt people who are challenging him. The third and the last category is the ruler who he makes rules in order to benefit himself. He makes rules to benefit his family, his friends, his cohorts. But he knows what he's doing is wrong. They're making a lot of money. They're stealing the money. They have their hands in the cookie jar. They're taking the money. The family is getting big. They have a lot of money. But he knows what he's doing is wrong. He knows what he's doing in his heart of hearts, in public. He knows what he's doing is wrong. What's the ruling concerning that person? He's a Muslim, but he's fallen into a kabira from the kaba'ir by what he's doing. He's trying to get benefit for himself, his own personal self. And he's using that chair that he has to steal the money. For an example, benefit. What do you call it? Generational wealth. He's going to get money for 50 generations down the line. That's how he's thinking. This is a golden opportunity to stack up my wealth. But he knows he's stealing. And in Ramadan, he makes istighfar. And in his life, he makes dua to Allah to forgive him. Keeps doing it. It's the system. Sometimes you'll find, like, there's just an example in Nigeria, when Louis Farrakhan, may Allah guide him before he dies, or give him what he deserves from his guidance, so many of our people, Mike Wallace said to Farrakhan in 60 Minutes, come on, he said, Nigeria is the most corrupt country on the face of the earth. There's some truthfulness in that. The culture is corrupt. India, Bangladesh, where we come from, it is corrupt. And if you get into politics and you are a good, clean person, they're going to corrupt you. Because you can't be in that position and be you can't be like something you're going to be in a way of us making money. So it's better not to get into politics in many countries like Nigeria. And like I said, terrorism, and the thing gets turned upside down. Louis Farrakhan, from the truth that he said was, come on, Mike Wallace. Come on. The most corrupt country in the world? Mike Wallace said, well, you know one other than that? He said, yeah, I'm right here in it. I'm right here in it. Who doubts that? Who doubts that? That's why they call corruption with like rich people is white collar crime. I'll show you some corruption. And this is not political. I'm just telling you. We're not rich, but we got to pay all these taxes, man. And then the rich people who live in Palm Springs and all, them people got all these games that they pay, but they don't pay taxes. Where's the justice in that? In Islam, everybody's going to pay zakat, depending upon your particular situation. So the rich people, they can't play games in Islam to cover their wealth. They have to give the zakat from all of those billions of millions of dollars. And you have to give zakat based upon the $50,000 you make a year, $70,000, $80,000 you make. You pay your zakat based upon your ability. What's this stuff? Where you're going to take the money from the poor people and we don't have a way to get out? Come on. So those are the three categories as it relates to the people who make al-hukm bi ghayri ma anzalallah. They judge by other than what Allah Azza wa Jalla revealed. And this is what we want to present. Before any questions, our brother Abdul Hadi over there brought some grub, some munchies, ice cream, cakes, all kind of ice cream, chocolate, vanilla. What's that other ice cream, brother? You told me earlier today? Nah, all black people eat that one. The other one, black walnut. He didn't bring any black walnut, though, but what he brought, and he brought that, mashallah, because we have Dr. J, Jihad. Dr. Jihad, Dr. J is here from San Diego visiting us, and the brother was sitting there. He went on his own and came back and brought that. But there's something that happened. I have to mention this. It's not cool. And that is, Abdul Hadi is one of the elders of our community. He was walking back and forth to go do this and do that. The younger brothers, we have to give the best seats to these older brothers and shura members and things like that. And we have to go and serve this stuff to the people. All right? So welcome, Akhi Jihad. Get to know these brothers in our community. This is Jihad Shuaib. Jassim knows him. Umar knows him, right? You know him, right? What's your name, brother? Where you from? Apopka. Welcome, Tariq. What's your name, man? Where you from originally? Trinidad. When you stepped in the door, you was mean.